and welcome to the Jumpstart series. I'm your host Nontobeko Kumete. Now I'm just trying to shed some light on the many tutors that later became business owners and who played a huge role in empowering many learners within their communities while also making a profit. We have the entrepreneur and founder of Tutored by Gomora, Lebogang Mestileng, who's going to show us what it takes to start a business like this.
Igama lami Lebogang Mestileng. I am born and raised in Alexandra. I am 24 years old. I hold an honors in industrial psychology from the University of Johannesburg, and currently I am an entrepreneur. I'm a founder of a company by the name of Tutored by Gomora. Yes, I have my honors with, and I'm currently looking for a job, and I get employed. Let me, in the meantime, try something that will empower me and those around me. So whilst I was at the University of Johannesburg, I was an academic tutor. So during my honors, I was teaching your first years industrial psychology, right? That's where I actually got the skill, knowing how to stand in front of 50 students and actually imparting knowledge and finding out where is the problem. Do they understand the content and how I can support them during their first year. We don't have a lot of mentors in Alexandra. The future needs young people, it needs leaders to stand up and do something. And I thought it is through entrepreneurship that we can conquer. It's through entrepreneurship, because as an entrepreneur, you're a leader. First thing that was important for me was human capital, right? If I'm gonna open this tutoring, human capital, who am I going to work with? It was literally my first costing, because I need to understand the people I work with are experienced to this certain level, they understand a certain subject to this point, their experience is this, So I had to call one guy that I was working with. He was my business partner in Tutored by Gomora, but life happened and he obviously ventured into other things, but he was one of the people that assisted me in the beginning of the organization with ideas, because he was into teaching. I actually value him as the knowledge that he actually brought into the organization was so great, because that's the first, I think it's something that you have to pay for also, if you look at it, because it's a service. They gave me knowledge, they shared something I might have not known about the industry of education, and then shed light. And regarding other expenses that are monetary, I would say I didn't need anything, I must say, because with tutoring, you can just advertise on your WhatsApp. So what I did, I advertised on my WhatsApp and on my Facebook, and so there was one guy who saw it and shared it also, and people on WhatsApp just started sharing, and we got one client through him. So we were the tutors. Before I hired anyone, it was me and that guy. His name is Tembinkosi Mokoko. And then maybe after 3 months later, as the organization grew and then we started being busy, started working and doing other things, we then started working with other people. I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with costing. I won't lie. Costing is the biggest challenge for a small medium enterprise. As you are getting in, you are thinking, I still want to have this customer work with me, but they can't afford. What do I do? Do I negotiate, or does it mean they're not the target market? Because they always say, no, if it's too expensive for them, they're not the target market, blah blah blah. That mentality. But also at the same time, I think when I was doing our costing initially last year, we had a lot of challenges, I won't lie. But early this year, I went for a course, right? It is an entrepreneurship accelerator program from JA South Africa. So JA South Africa took us for like 6 weeks. It was just young entrepreneurs, young women entrepreneurs. And one of the lessons or a day that they scheduled for was for costing, right? And they would teach us how do we actually cost things. Remember, I'll have to engage with the parent. That's my style of doing things. If a parent calls and say, hey, I'm interested in your tutoring, and I will then ask them to, I'll call them back, because they would have texted on WhatsApp. I'd call them back to say, okay, just engage on the whole process on how it goes, right? That's airtime or data, depending on which platform do we use, right? I also have to check out if there will be, transport that will be needed for the tutor to get to the area, because like I said, we're just not based in Alexandra. We have had clients from Lyndhurst, from Greenstone. So now I have to take into consideration that for me to get to that learner, how much is the transport? Because sometimes we do have Zoom lessons, right, with some of our clients, right? When we do have load shedding, firstly, the network will be awful, right? So it then means even if there's data, even if we didn't use Wi-Fi, we're just using data, hotspotting the phone to the laptop or using the phone to connect to the client, you still have network issues. So that does get into a way of delivering, a good lesson, right? So that's one of the challenges that we've been encountering lately. So to obviously solve the challenge, we'd get some of our tutors to instead travel to the client's place to deliver that as a way to ensure that the learner did understand and there wasn't challenges in between the lesson, right? Or maybe we would schedule, right? Some other issues or challenges that we have had, they basically like challenges within the organization, where we would have to like the term itself or the name of our organization, Tutored by Gomora, it has limited us. It has been a challenge in a sense that people, when you say I'm a founder of Tutored by Gomora, they're already saying, oh, so you tutor in Gomora? You guys don't tutor in Soweto? You guys don't tutor in Temis? That has been a challenge itself, because every time we realize right now that we'll have to rebrand ourselves as a company and say, maybe instead of saying Tutored by Gomora, Tutored by G, so the G can be genius, the G can be greatness. It depends on what the G is, but it should be a great G. So what we do most of the time, right, we'll have it go on Facebook so people know that we are hiring, right? And then they will given the email address there. That's our recruitment process, and then we will highlight what documents they need to send. Oftentimes it's a cover letter, it's your matric certificate, it's your qualifications or your academic record. So basically what we would do would have the tutor prepare a lesson, right, and see if they can be able to tutor. So now we're preparing the tutor to say, this is possible, you might have a child that will respond like this to you. Let's see how you respond. The advice that I give to the young person out there who is probably unemployed, who is searching for their own purpose and they're still not sure yet, what I would say to them is just start. Let's stop doubting ourselves. Let's stop questioning our characters if ever the industries or the spaces are made for us. Nothing was ever made for anyone. You just need to be flexible, adaptable, find yourself in a situation and learn how to move.
Now let's take a look at the list of items that you would need in order to get moving and start your own tutoring business. Lebogang really showed us that you don't need a teaching degree to start something. All you need is the experience, the wit, a supportive community, and also supportive institutions. Now I'm going to leave it right there for you to start thinking about what areas in your life or what issues within your community that can help you think of a business idea that you can profit from. Great question. So until next time, goodbye.